Yeah, why is it the countdown is so ass backwards? It goes from like fucking 3 to 16 to 7 to 8, and then all of a sudden it's like 0 go. Like
must be a woman counting. They're unsure. It's a female computer.
It's a female computer. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Sentence to Greatness podcast. This is episode 3. Episode 3 should have been 4. We had a little mishap, so we apologize about that. But yeah, episode 3. We got Yari the General on today as one of our guests.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
Glad to be here.
And as always, we got host Isaac and myself, Marsell Zaborek. So what's going on, dude?
Another day, man. Slept in a little bit today. Had a big meal last night, so got some rest, and then had to wake up and start dealing with laundry and clothes for the week.
Wait, what is sleeping in for you at this point? You know,
anything, dude. Anything after 6 a.m. is sleeping in.
That's what I thought.
to those of you that don't know, Yari decided to make his life a whole lot easier, and he decided to have twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and take on boxing at the same time.
I get bored easy, you know. Get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, right.
That's how you do it, man. You know. Now you don't have to worry about having another one. Just get it all at the same
I got
time.
that super duper, so you know.
Those silver bullets. That's right.
That's right. The golden bullets, man. They're Ukrainian stuff.
Oh gosh, man.
You said Ukrainian, but I thought you were fucking Russian.
Man, it's technically Ukrainian, but back in the day, my friend and I always had this argument. Like, Marsell, you know, it was all considered Russia back then.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but technically I'm Ukrainian.
Okay. Huh.
Well, fuck it. Since you know we led right into that. Well, let's start off with that, dude. Where are you from? Were you born here? Were you born there?
I was actually born in Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah, I came over when I was like 6 months old.
Huh.
You know, so
6 months.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had family here and everything, so you know we came over. Obviously, I don't remember anything from back then. I don't have any family out there now or anything like that. Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Yeah, that's crazy. 6 months, like, so have you been back since?
No, and people ask me, but it's like I really have no urge to. Like, what am I going to do there?
See, it's funny that you say that because I came here. Here to the U.S. from Poland when I was 9 or 10, I believe 9. And I didn't go back for like, I would say I was like 23 or 24. So like whatever, 13, 14 years. And I didn't really, you know, when I went back, I thought I would feel like some kind of nostalgia or whatever. Like, oh, you know, this is where I came from. Honestly, I didn't feel shit. Because, you know, I feel like when you're 9 years old, you still don't have that connection. You don't have your roots placed in. You don't have that foundation yet.
No.
Yeah, it was cool seeing like where I went to first grade and like where I played hockey and, you know, my hometown changed but everything was different, dude. I came back and, you know, people are like, oh, when are you going to go again? I was like, probably not ever. Maybe I'll show my wife one day where I'm from. But that's going to be about it. Like, I would not spend my vacation money or my vacation time on that anymore.
Like, I don't have family there. I don't know anybody there. It's not like it's like a spot for sightseeing or something. I don't go to museums, you know, so I just have no urge to go there.
Cool.
So basically what we're saying is I'm the only legal one here. Right?
No, man, I'm fully legit. That's been done and over with years ago. But I didn't. I wasn't born here, though. My brother and my sister were, but I wasn't.
Gotcha.
You know, do you want me to whip out my fucking neutralization or whatever certificate?
I got those too somewhere.
I got one, dude. I got a little piece of paper.
Yep.
I had to go over there. Yeah, I had to go over there.
And I didn't come over illegally. It was legal.
No, I think I was illegal for a little bit.
Were you?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we came over with the visa.
Just kind of stayed.
And then our visa, it was a travel visa or whatever. Then our visas expired.
Yep.
So yeah, there was definitely a time there where I was legal, but I'm a citizen now. I had to go over there.
You're paying mad taxes. It's all good.
I had to wave an American flag, like I held my hand and everything, dude. I did the whole spiel. They asked me questions about the Constitution and everything. I passed, man.
Yep, did all that too.
I'm a proud American.
Got
America,
right.
fuck yeah.
Got that right.
Funny because like you guys are like from another country technically, but I'm the one that's all mixed up and fucked up.
Why are you mixed up and fucked up? I mean, you're fucked up, but why?
Well, because I got different nationalities mixed into me.
Oh, so everybody chipped in on you. What nationalities are you? Puerto Rican and what else?
Irish.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know that. I knew you were Puerto Rican. I didn't know you had that Irish.
Well, where do you think I got my last name from? I mean, that's not fucking Puerto Rican at all.
I don't know. Conaway.
It could be.
You think I was like half black or something?
I would say that before Irish.
Yeah, Dominican.
Irish. Dominican.
Hey, that's a good one.
No, it's not a good one when you look at
hands
my
up.
last
You
name.
look Dominican.
I'm all fucked up. I got fucking family that's whiter than Marsell. So swear to God.
Hey, I am not
You
that.
seen him, Marsell. You saw him.
Honestly, my family too, they're all real pasty and stuff. So I'm the only one that's dark. I'm like that.
Yeah, honestly, Yari, like when I met you, dude, when you said I'm Ukrainian, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah,
I totally would have. I would have said something like Latino descent, 100%.
Everybody's always, even growing up from like 6th, 7th grade, everybody always thought I was Puerto Rican. And I hung around a bunch of Puerto Ricans, so I was like, I just got labeled as Puerto Rican.
Should have got the flag tattooed on you.
What's that?
Yeah.
Should have got the flag tattooed on you. Just went full boat.
No.
He said,
nope.
That'd be a little weird, man.
No, it wouldn't. You're supporting your friends.
Yeah, bro, we're dark skinned people. Come on.
I always support my friends, but I'm not tattooing their flag on me.
Oh man. Anyway, moving on. So you came here when you were 6 months. Where'd you grow up?
Mainly in the city, and then
city means
like
what?
in Chicago area.
Chicago.
Like Chicago. Then we started moving, further into the southern suburbs, and then made it out north, and kind of been this way since.
Yeah. So, growing up, high school, what kind of kid were you? Good kid, bad kid? What did you do?
So it's actually funny, right? I was both. I was good and bad. I would say.
So you were Robin Hood?
No, I would say probably more bad because I got into a lot of trouble, got into a lot of fights, but I wasn't disrespectful to my parents, and I was a good student. So I went to school all the time. I actually enjoyed school. School was fun. It was not hard for me. But I was also that dude that, like, you touch me wrong in the hallway, I'm fighting you. I hung around with certain people. We did certain things. And just after school, I was a completely different person. Whatever happened, happened. But I enjoyed school. I got good grades, and school was fun for me. Like, I was always one of those guys that wanted to go to school. But I got into a lot of trouble, like a lot of trouble.
Right. So, but by trouble, do you mean like trouble at school? Did you get trouble with the law?
Both. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. If you guys want to get into it, get into it. I caught a case literally when I was 15 years old. That was my first case at 15.
Really?
Yeah. Went to a
What'd you do?
detention center, which still to this very day was probably one of the scariest moments of my life at 15 years old. And I was actually out of school for a while. And I dealt with that case for 2 years on and off. And I actually had to go in front of the school board and present a case with an attorney in order for them to let me back into school, because they kind of labeled me as a menace to society because I kept getting in so much trouble, but yet I had good grades and I was a good student and I didn't disrespect teachers or anything to that extent,
Right.
So I got in a lot of trouble during high school for sure, but I ended up graduating and there was no issues with any of that stuff.
So what happened with all that? You said you caught a case. What was it for? Fighting?
No. Well, it originally started, and I'll just be honest, at 15 years old, I was hanging with a certain crowd. We were doing certain things, and I got caught with a weapon.
Okay, gotcha.
So got in trouble for that. Went to juvie hall, and it was not fun. And then this was at 15, and then I was on probation. I was on house arrest, all that stuff, and then I got in trouble again at 17, and I went back again at 17.
What'd you do at 17?
At 17, I violated my probation, so I was on probation from that same case. And the probation officer came to school. Part of my thing was I wasn't allowed to wear gang colors. And that day they came in, I was in gang colors from head to toe. And they had random locker searches for whatever reason. They searched my locker. There was a baseball bat in there. It wasn't even mine, honestly. That's the funny thing about it. It wasn't even my baseball bat.
Yeah.
And, so I ended up getting in trouble, and they violated me. And it's crazy because, the courts back then in my area, they knew everybody who was affiliated with each other. And there just so happened to be the night before my court, 3 to 5 people that I hung around with, there was a drive-by shooting. And there's people that I was associated with. So they all had gotten locked up. And I had court the next day. The judge knew everything. And, they put me back away at 17. And one of my friends was actually in there that time.
Oh, really? So did you did time after that after you were violated?
Yeah, at 15 I did, and at 17, and then, adulthood also, which isn't, we get into that. But yeah, 15 through 17 again. So high school was rough for me, man, because I missed a lot because I was on house arrest. And then after house arrest, I had curfew. So during the week, I had to be in at 7 o'clock. And then weekends was 9 o'clock. So I missed a lot, and because I couldn't do anything. And then the probation would come by your house all the time and come to school randomly to make sure that you're there. I had to call, say I'm going to school. I had to come home, say I'm home from school. Then they would come by, and it was definitely a hot mess, So especially during those times, I
ever look at that stuff? Hold on. Do you ever look at that stuff and think that kind of saved you from worse situations, something that could have happened even worse down the road?
I mean, worse ended up happening when I was 21. The crazy thing is, it's I look at it, it's I kind of knew right from wrong, but man, I was one of those people, man. I just like the adrenaline rush, it's not that I was trying to hurt people, man. I was just, we were doing our thing and stuff happened. It happened. And, when I got caught with a weapon, I wasn't doing anything to anybody. We just happened to be literally at a park after curfew, after time. And somebody called the police on us and said, hey, there's a disturbance in the area. The cops came, they searched us, and I had a weapon on me. I was a dumbass. So I was never intentionally out to hurt anybody or any of that type of shit. I just the adrenaline.
Right. So the adrenaline from just knowing that you're kind of not doing what you're supposed to, and
one of those things, rush, and just it got into a lot of street fights, man. A lot. Yeah. It was bad, and then for any type of reason, like I said, and especially the crowd that I was with.
So the first 2 times didn't scare you straight, okay?
At 15, right? I was really, really scared, and at 17,
not scared enough though.
No. Well,
not scared enough.
I mean, here's the reality of it. At 17, when I got in trouble, I mean, I was wearing clothes I shouldn't really wear. But it's I wasn't really thinking about that. When I got dressed that day, was I thinking about, hey, the probation officer is going to come to school that day to see what I'm doing? And they just so did. And I remember it's so crazy. I remember what I was wearing to this very day. And if you guys remember, Isaac, you might, it was that black Shaq shirt. And it had the Orlando, when he was in Orlando, it had the blue star in the middle. Yeah. And I had on, this was so funny because you look at it now, you're like, what the hell was I doing wearing these clown clothes? I had on straight blue cross colors. Remember those, Isaac?
Yeah.
Legit blue cross colors. And then I had, I wish I actually still had these shoes. I had the black and blue Shaq Reebok pumps.
Hey, look at your clothes and your match game. I believe it 100%.
Well, so they came to school that day, and obviously I'm all in black and blue. I wasn't allowed to wear those colors. They seen that there happened to be a random locker search that day. There was a bat in my locker, so the probation officer wrote me up. And you know, it doesn't matter what I explained. I was guilty. I shouldn't have been in those clothes, and I shouldn't have let, you know, my friend at the time put his stupid bat in my locker.
Right.
So I went back at 17. And the part that sucked is I had court that day with my mom, and I wasn't expecting to go back. And they took me from the courtroom in front of my mom. You know, that part really sucked.
So after those first 2 times, you went back the third time, and that was the last time?
I went back 21, yeah. But this was time to the big boy house.
What'd you do? What happened that time?
Well, the charge was actually.
I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't the Shaq pumps this time. I know that.
No. So, and honestly, this situation, as crazy as it may sound, I don't regret it because I helped out a friend. Okay, so you know, this shit happens. Some of us get caught, and some of us don't. Like I look back, you know, I'm 21 years old. We're at a Halloween party. I was minding my business, and then I hear my friend yelling for me and screaming, "Yari, help! Yari, help!" So like I ran through the crowd and I see my friend was getting jumped on, and he was a little dude, like I'm talking like 5'1" or something like that. Like he was like legit a short guy, you know, and he's getting jumped on. So I took it upon myself, and the dude that was on him, I gave him a beating, like out of control beating. And
yeah,
I got in trouble for that, you know, but I took it to the extreme. But at the same time, you know, like when you're in that situation, fighting for your life or defending a friend, how do you make, you know, where you draw the line of what's extreme and what's not? You're just fighting. You're in the moment, you know? So yeah, I got in trouble. And that case literally, that changed my life. Like I spent from 21 through 23 going through the system again. But still to this very day, I can't say I regret it and I take it back because I helped out my friend. If I didn't help him out, who knows what would have happened to him? He could have been paralyzed, you know?
Right.
So,
no, and I honestly, I wouldn't know how, like, what that situation feels like because I've never been through it. So I can't personally speak on what I would have done or I've, you know, have or haven't done, or because I mean, I guess you don't know until you're in that situation, you know, like.
And I was always one of those people.
I've never been, thankfully, there's never been a situation like that where I had to do anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been,
I got in a fight here and there in grade school or middle school or whatever, but that's nothing. I never did any of that. So.
I've been, unfortunately, or whatever, you know, I was in a lot of street fights. And at this point, like I said, I literally heard my friend screaming and needed my help. And I went over there and I helped him. I mean, and this is a guy that like ended up when we were like adults, he lived with me. He was my roommate. I still talk to them to this very day. Like if, you know, I would give him the key to my house to this very day. So again, if I didn't help him that day, I don't know what would have happened to him. And I just felt that it was my responsibility. Did I take it too far? Yeah, probably I did. But at that moment, you don't know what's too far or not. Like if I stop, how do I know this guy's not going to get me? You know?
True.
So I just kept giving him a beating.
True. Very true. So after those 3 times, let's fast forward. You know, you get out, you do your thing. Now on to the good stuff, the good Yari. So after you get out, you went back to school, or what did you do?
So this was crazy. I was actually in college at 21
when
years
it happened.
Old. I was in school, and then I missed X amount of time for school. And then I actually got to go to school from jail. They allowed me to go. And towards the end, they allowed me to go. So it was a long ride. So I had to go, like they signed me out every morning and I had to go there, and each teacher had to sign a form that I was in class every day. And I only had class, it was 2 times a week. It was really embarrassing, you know, to tell my teachers that. And they signed it, and then I had to go back.
Right.
So that was towards the end. But yeah, I was in school, and, you know, I ended up graduating, and, you know, the grades were pretty decent. It took me a little longer with everything that I went through. Then I ended up getting a job at a car dealership. So I ended up graduating college and stuff, but it took a little longer.
What'd you graduate with? Like, what was your major? Or...
I have a bachelor in political science.
Oh, political science.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you know, after that, you know, you graduated, you got everything set straight. Where you at now? What do you do for your day to day?
So I work for the state now. I'm a caseworker, which is crazy. Everybody's like, oh, I can't picture you being a caseworker. And
I can't either.
and so I work for public aid, and that's for the people that need assistance. If anybody doesn't know, during COVID, we mainly work at home now since all this happened in Illinois. We have to rotate to the office. I'm actually in rotation right now, which I hate being there. I'm not going to lie. I don't like my job for the fact that I don't get any pleasure out of it. There's no rewards to it. And to me, it's just a job. It is what it is. I'm thankful that I have one. I have awesome benefits. Going out there and swinging a hammer like Isaac did is not for me. That's just, I've never been that like labor kind of guy. So, I don't like my job, but I'm thankful for it. And again, I don't like it just for the fact that I don't have any fulfillment from it, because I'm not really helping people. It's a system. You either qualify or you don't. And no matter how hard you work, you don't get extra compensation. You don't get a bonus. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those incentive-driven people. You guys know that. I'm all about incentives.
Yeah.
So, to me, I don't take my job personally. I just do it and I'm done.
True. Everybody's got to do that. You at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I clock in, I clock out. I don't take it home with me.
Yeah, for sure. Not everybody's fortunate.
I turn off that computer. It's in my rear view. Right.
So, with that being said, how did you get into, the competitive side of you? Like, I know were you always an athlete? Because I know you were a bodybuilder for a while. Now you're doing boxing. Did you play any sports growing up? Like, what made you, get into the competitive side of you? Like, what made you get into that?
So as a kid, like to rewind it all the way back, I did martial arts as a kid. I competed in martial arts tournaments, but I never really did well because back then it was like a point system in martial arts. I think your kids go through it now, Isaac, right? But they're more in MMA, so it's different. Like in the point system in martial arts back then, you could get kicked, you'd get hit, and they'd break for a point. Where that didn't work for me because I was too aggressive, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like if I get hit now, I want to come at you. But back then they would call and stop, break for a point. And then like I played basketball in 6th grade for like a little bit, and I sucked. I didn't have much playing time. I maybe scored one shot. I tried playing soccer maybe in 4th or 5th grade. So I was not an athlete. Growing up, but I've always was obsessed with boxing, as a kid. I remember in 6th grade, my parents bought me a punching bag, and I just loved that thing. I just spent so much time in the basement just beating up that punching bag. I was obsessed with boxing, obsessed with Mike Tyson. Got the Tyson gear on now. And as I started getting older, like I was working out, but there was no like discipline to it. You know what I mean? I was just going out, trained to be like that tough guy, so to speak, and kind of have a look to me. But I didn't know what I was doing. There was no game plan. You just go in the gym and just whatever. And then what people don't know is I actually got into boxing and mixed martial arts before I got into bodybuilding. So I actually had 2 boxing fights, one being the Chicago Golden Gloves in 2006, that long ago, and I had a kickboxing fight. And then, like, I would always try to lift heavy. Like, I just cared about a bench press. It wasn't even chest day to me. It was bench day to me. That's what I called it. I called it bench day. And every Monday I was benching. And the people that do at LA Fitness, don't be on my bench because I needed a specific bench, and Monday was bench day. That's all that I cared about was my bench press. Like, I didn't train my legs. I worked out on other stuff, but it wasn't the same. All I cared about was bench press, bench press, bench press. And then I ended up tearing my chest completely. Like, I had 3 chest tears total. And after that, I'm like, man, this isn't working, And I was done with the mixed martial arts at the time. At 28 years old, my daughter was born. I was about to do an MMA fight, and I broke my ankle. So from that point, like, I kind of just got out of it. And after the chest tears, I'm like, you know what? I've always liked bodybuilding, but I never wanted to do it. And I'm like, I need to be disciplined. I want to stay in the game, and I don't want to be getting hurt. So I'm like, what's going to keep me disciplined and on the right routine? Bodybuilding. And then I got into it, and wow, I just got addicted to the challenge of it. I'm like, this is by far probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life at that point, and that was 2014. And like for the next 6-7 years, I was just obsessed with just, going through a prep and I never had a real off season until like, what was it, 2018 going to 2019 with Pitt, and then I did my own off season 2019 going to 2020 because I knew how. But anyways, like I was obsessed with the prep, because it was so hard, and people would be like, a lot of people, they feel miserable. Like I didn't think about that. I'm like, I'm doing what other people can. I love this challenge, and I got addicted to the challenge of that prep and the bodybuilding. That's how I get into the bodybuilding aspect. Like I've always had interest in it, always liked it, but I never thought it was for me until I tried it, and then the challenge is what got me.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so you got into bodybuilding, and after you get into bodybuilding, is that when you got into the social media marketing game and stuff like that? Is that what made you get into the social media so you can, start kind of climbing a ladder, kind of try monetizing your bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Because, half the reason why we want to talk to you is you're one of the, like, the top sales guy that I know of when it comes to social media. Like you figured out a way for yourself to make, good money, on social media, because let's face it, that's what it is. It's making money on social media.
Yari's got the cheat code, bro.'s got the cheat code.
He's got some kind of a cheat code. He's got that little book that you had when you were playing PlayStation with fucking.
He's not sharing it with anybody either.
I have an attention disorder, man, where I'm just like so zoomed in with everything. But no, how that all started is I actually didn't even care about social media. I was like obsessed with YouTube. YouTube was my thing. I loved watching YouTube. I loved watching the guys train. And this is how it all started for me. And I'll be completely honest. I, like most people, was obsessed with Rich Piana. I'm just like, wow,
okay.
And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his team. I'm like, I want to be with 5% because I felt, that's where I belong. I'm like, what this guy's saying, like, I've been through it, I'm like, I've changed my life. I went from, getting into all this trouble, from gangs to jail to this to fitness, I'm like, here I am. I'm all tatted up. I belong with 5%. I actually met Rich Piana, and he's like, do you have a social media? And I was like, yeah. He's like, how many followers? And it was like a few hundred. He's like, well, you need to have at least 2,000 followers. And this is what he told me at the time. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that's going to be impossible. Like, how do I do that? So I just kept like plugging away on my social media, and, just like paying attention to what he was doing and what the people on his team were doing and some other people that I was following. And I'm like, how can I apply that to what I'm doing?
Right.
And I ended up getting an offer from a clothing company at the time that wanted to sponsor me. And I was like, okay, this is in the right direction. You got to start somewhere. So I got on that clothing company. They were sending me clothing. And sure enough, in a matter of a few months, I had the top selling coat. But I wasn't making any commissions, no money. It was just kind of a stepping stone, getting my name out there. I hit the following. The guy that was actually in charge of like the athletes at 5% of the time was going to put me on. And I ended up at the same time getting hit up by my dude who was on Condemned, right around the same time. And he was my friend, and he got put on. And he's like, hey, man, we're looking to expand the team. Are you interested? And I was like, my friend's already here. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this have a real connection. So I decided to go that route, and 4 years later, here I am. But I built my social media in order to try to get on with the company. That was the main purpose at the time.
Right, but how did you go from, 200 followers and, not really knowing how to go about it to like, right now, with Condemned, I could say that you triple or quadruple, numbers of sales that most of us have. How did you get from, that starting point to here? Like, I know you didn't just like, snap your fingers and here I am making all these sales. Like, where did you go with this process? Like, how did you even start that? Because there's a lot of people, obviously in the industry that we're in that are looking to do that, to build their social media, build their following so they can get on with a company that they want, or that, whatever it is, they can in some way, shape, or form start monetizing, their social media to create a source of income to, help them out in any sort of way, or even be their main source of income. So like, how did you go from there to there? Because, like you said, it took a couple years, but where did you start?
I think for me, starting was being authentic, because I didn't really have a sales pitch. I just said the truth. I was obsessed with this products, and to this very day, still using mainly the same products. Like, they've added more, but I was obsessed with them. I was just literally telling people how awesome these products are, what they do for me, how they make me feel when I take them, how I take them. And little did I know at the time, I didn't really understand it, but I was providing a value. And then when I learned how to structure that value and put it out there where people can actually use it and it makes sense to them, then I was able to put it all together, like, down pack. Like, not only was I able to motivate people, they knew that I was authentic, because they see me going through all these bodybuilding shows, getting ready, losing, cutting all this weight. At the same time, I was promoting the products and, just being authentic about it. I'm like, this is what's saving me right now. I feel like straight shit. You guys know, but I take 2 scoops of Conaway. I'm ready to train. It doesn't matter how many carbs I've had. It doesn't matter how much lack of sleep I've had. I'm good. I'm ready to go. And just being authentic and being honest really, really helped. And like, I was also that person that, you treat people the same as you want to be treated. So I don't have any ego. I respond to all my comments. Now we all get hit with crazy DMs. You can't do that anymore. I learned better. But I respond to everybody who comments to me. People that message me, asking me questions, like real people, not bots asking stupid shit. Like, I respond to them, and I think just being authentic and being honest is the main thing. Like yesterday or the day before, I got a package from Goalie, and there were the new Super Greens. And someone messaged me, they're like, hey, how are those? And I just said the truth. I'm like, I haven't tried them yet. I'm like, I'm going to try them later on today, and I'll let you know. And I did, and I think that was like key with me, is just being truthful about everything. Like to this very day, when people message me about like arson, for example, I'll be like, don't start with 2. You're not going to have a good day. It's too strong, And some people can't, but I'll tell them that. Be like, just trust me.
You might die.
But I'll tell them, be like, if you take 2.
Hold on. Let me do a low key plug right here. You guys see all this sweat that I got going on right here? Yeah. I took a thyroidogenic like 3 hours ago. I'm still sweating. Just want to throw that out there.
Thyroidogenic wasn't out back then. We had the arson, and I would tell people, like, and I told them this very day, do not take 2. You're not going to have a good day. Start with 1, access your tolerance, and make sure you pound water. But it all just comes back to just being honest and providing information that works for me. Like there was there wasn't a
be honest, provide.
I'm sorry.
But how did you get that in front of the right people, right? Like, because you could be authentic, right? Like you could be authentic. You could have, you're speaking the truth. You have value that you can provide to people, but you got to put that value and that content in front of somebody's face. Like you gotta get them to notice it, right? So like, how did you go about that aspect of things? Because, anybody can provide good content, right? Like if you really put your time and effort into it, like you can make good content. Just do your research. Like you said, be authentic, be relatable, provide some sort of value that somebody can take from it. But how do you get that in front of the right faces that you want, for that particular content to be seen? Like how did you go about that part of it?
So one of the things as far as being in the right faces, and this is what I always tell people, like the ambassadors, you guys see the messages all the time. Make sure you're posting at the right times, and you have X amount of time when you get those comments in to respond to people, because that drives your post up. And then like in the main, say, Instagram page, I'm no expert, and obviously I don't have a huge following, but in that main page, your post can be seen there. And if you got like a cool looking post, or they'll look at me like, man, this dude's matching from head to toe and he's all tatted up. Let's click his profile, and then get a follow there, and then also like I wouldn't be scared to follow people back then that I was interested in and like their stuff and support them. And then some of them, like bigger names, actually ended up following me back. Like, for example, like John Meadows, you know, like he followed me. I was like, oh shit, I remember I was super happy when John Meadows followed me, you know, but I supported his stuff. I commented on his stuff. Like, I took his bone and joint supplement and just whatever. And I shared it on my stories, and people see those things and they'll look at your profile, and then, you know, like hopefully they'll give you a like, a follow, and, you know, you go from there. And then like I made sure I tagged accounts too. Like that's why I always tell you, Marsell, Isaac does it. I'm like, you got to tag people because people look at that, you know? And I tagged some of those higher end accounts. Like I used to tag Rich Piana, you know what I mean? I tagged people that were on his team, and because they had bigger accounts. So I really think that kind of helped get me exposure. And those people would actually comment on my post as well. So people would see that, you know? And again, I was responding to everybody.
How did you come about with that? Like, because you have like an aggressive approach, obviously, right, when it comes to social media. But what turned that on, like for you? What switch did you flip to like have this aggressive approach towards your social media, towards you know, being part of Condemned and, you know, selling products and shit like that? Like,
honestly, I needed it. I need it. I need it. Like, you know, I'm not getting rich, but every dollar counts. I need it. You know, I don't spend my money stupid. You know, like now I have 3 kids.
I mean, just getting a new car every year, but
well, that's because I'm stupid and I make decisions with that. So, but, yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there. You change your cars like you fucking change your socks, but
I make some dumb decisions with cars. It's been like that for a long time, but I needed my social media to work because I needed that extra source of income and opportunity. I needed it. So I made sure I studied it, and I don't put out and again, I don't think my posts are king shit or anything like that, but I don't put out a post just to put out a post. Like when I put out something and I only post 2 times a week, I make sure to me that this post is on point. There's enough content here, or the quote is good, the caption is good, the picture is good, you know, and then I put it out there and I try to break it down like the right way. Like before I used to just put posts out and just hashtag everything. There wasn't even a story. And I'm like, this isn't working. And then again, I started looking at other people's accounts. I'm like, oh, they're telling a story, you know, and then thinking that I told you, Marsell, before, I'm like, let people know something about you. And I think like I kind of developed this underdog story about this dude who just can't win, but keeps coming, keeps trying. And that's kind of where it started for me because, man, it took me freaking, was it 10 second places, not including all the thirds and 1/5 before I finally won one. I don't want to say stupid, but one bodybuilding show, you know, and I won a few that same night. But like, I just wouldn't stop, and I couldn't stop. And I'm like, I'm not gonna stop until I win, and that's all there is to it, you know. And the same thing with the boxing now. Like, you know, I'm 0-3 in boxing. I'm like, but I'm not stopping. Like, I am gonna win, and the next one, I'm gonna win, you know. So it's just being like on top of, like I said, putting the content together properly, making it like sort of marketable where it catches people attention, tagging the right people, posting at the right time, and giving people a reason like, man, this dude seems pretty like, you know, like legit, like he's relentless. He keeps going and he's honest. He's losing, but he's honest, you know?
Right. So, you know, so pretty much what you're saying, well, be authentic, you know, have your own niche, create a story for yourself, have some kind of a flow to your social media where like, you know, people know when they look at your content, what they're going to see, like, oh, this guy inspires me. This guy works hard. He pushes hard or whatever. Not just a boom in your face promotion of whatever you're trying to sell, because at the end of the day, you know, social media, you know, the game that we're in, it's a sales game. You know, we try to bring in sales. That's how we make money, whether it's selling a service or selling a product or whatever it is. That's what we're doing. We're selling stuff to people.
And I think one of the things that I did back then, and I was honest about it, like people know, like I made it clear that it's important for my code to be used. And I was honest, like I'm pretty much one of the first of the 2 guys, my friend and I did it at the time. When people used our codes and sent us the screenshot, we put it out there to thank them. Nobody was doing that type of stuff. Like I was so thankful that I wanted to shout this person out. And to this very day, if somebody sends me a screenshot, you guys know I put that out there. You guys do it now too. And it's not that bragging or boasting. You're thankful. You're shouting this person out that they use your code. I'm pretty much one of the innovators who started doing that, I like to think, because to me, that was like, holy shit, this person just used my code. Who am I? And these people are using my code and they're supporting me. So I was like so thankful. And to this very day, I still am about it. And like right now, it's crazy because I don't get all those screenshots anymore because it's like, I don't know what's the right word to use. It just, I get a lot more people using my code that they don't send it to me. It's not a big deal. But whoever does, I shout them out because I'm still always thankful. Because I'm like, who am I that somebody's going to use my code? I'm like, oh my God, this is for real. This is happening. People are using my code and not just one or two, but pretty decent amount, you guys know. So like, and I didn't want to have that page where somebody went to my page. You're like, he's just another bodybuilder. I wanted somebody to go to my page and be like, damn, this dude's telling a story here. Like, he's on a mission. He's not stopping until he needs to get to where he needs to go.
So the aggressive approach, I wanted to touch on that real quick one more time because, man, we got a lot of people that are coming into Condemned and, we obviously the main person that we try to have the model is, after is you because of your aggressiveness, but like that's something that can't be taught. And you said, yourself that you needed that money, like you needed that, every bit of it, and that's why you're so aggressive. But what do you think is the reason why a lot of these newer people coming on just don't have that aggressiveness? And I'm not just saying like, bottom, people just coming in that are brand new who, have no social media, but I'm talking about people that do have a social media following and maybe have a little title to their name. Why aren't they so aggressive? What do you think it is that they can't pull that out of them?
Well, people may not like this comment, but I'm going to say it straight out. And you guys heard me say it because we talk all the time. Fuck your title. You know what I'm saying?
Feathers. Let's do it. Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't care about your title. Earn your spot. Like, let's just be real. I can go to a certain state right now and fight and lose and add pro boxer to my profile. Does that change me as a person? No, but that's going to change me on social media. It's stupid. Just because I add pro boxer, my profile, it's literally going to change my social media status just by people seeing that. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's good. It changes a certain way people look at you for sure.
Exactly. So I think certain weak-minded people, if they have that title, it changes their work ethic. It's like, oh, I'm already here. I don't have to do this. You know what I mean? I'm already here. I got a contract that says I'm going to get this and this and that no matter what I do. So why should I go above and beyond? You know what I mean? I'm a nobody. I don't have a pro anything. So I'm going to keep on working and I'm going to keep on working and I'm going to show that person with the title. Your title doesn't mean shit and I'll do you in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's the thing about you though. Like what people need to understand is like you said, you don't have a pro anything.
No,
and just
I was never a good bodybuilder, and like
but let me finish where I'm going with this.
Okay,
like you said, you're not pro in anything, but for some fucking reason, you quadruple sales of people that are something, like really are something. You know.
So go ahead.
So you might not have a title of pro something, pro bodybuilder, pro boxer, but in my eyes, like when it comes to like the social media game, the scaling and monetizing, whatever you're representing, I look at you. I'm like, what is this dude doing? Because he's clearly blown everybody out of the water. So, it's like, yeah, you don't have a pro anything title, but you could say like, fuck, I'm a pro social media marketer and I'm fucking doing very well because I'm making more money than you guys are, and you guys are something else,
So I think for me, and I'll never be that guy that says I'm a pro media guy and I'm making a lot of money because there's no such thing to me as that. Like anything that I do for me is never enough. I don't have a comfortability where I'm like, oh, I'm good. No, I need more. And I always challenge myself and I want more. Like I want more for you guys, and I want more for the company. And I'm just that type of person. But I think the thing that like gets me the most, and to this very day, is so crazy because I know everything that I've been through in my life, and like trouble and losing this and losing that. Even my last boxing fight, I lost, But anytime that I hear and I get these messages, like a decent amount now, and every time it's like it's so humbling when people say I motivate them. You know what I mean? Like, wow. It's to me, that's like the craziest feeling in the world. Me, I'm a nobody. I used to be some street punk, like I'm getting told that I motivate people. So they're obviously getting that off my page and they know it's authentic. You can go to some certain bodybuilder pages, some powerlifter pages, even boxing guys. You go to them, like, man, these are top level dudes, but I can't relate to them. They're not giving me any motivation, like there's those pages you just don't care. And if you're not motivating somebody, if you're not inspiring them, like, what is it that you're really doing? What reason those people have to support you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, you're king shit. You're an IFBB pro. You're a pro boxer. You're a badass dude at the UFC. But what are you doing for people? Like, are you giving them a reason? Like, we know you're awesome, but what? Like,
yeah.
How many at this
point consider yourself like you consider yourself an influencer now, like a social media influencer? Would you accept that title?
If somebody gave it to me, yeah, but I would never consider myself
like
that.
Obviously you're Yari the boxer, Yari the bodybuilder, you're Yari part of Condemned. You have all these hats, but you are an influencer. You are a social media, and it's not a bad thing to say either. No, it's not.
And Isaac, we talk all the time, like daily, dude. For you to say that to me right now blows my mind because I never ever thought about that.
Right?
It blows my mind away. Like, to me, just hearing that, it's like, wow, if that's possible, then holy shit, then I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it that way. Officially live on the Sentence to Greatness podcast, we have given you the right to put it in your Instagram bio, Yari.
See,
pro influencer. we have relinquished you the right to do that.
You can put NQ next to that too, nationally qualified.
It's seriously mind blowing, NQ.
In all seriousness, like that, I'm for real about that.
But it is. I've never even thought about that, and it's mind blowing to hear that. My friend, like the General, I didn't pick this name; it was given to me. And I'm like, dude, why do you call me the General? And he straight up told me, he's like, bro, because you do the shit that other people won't do.
That's 100% true. Because you do shit on social media, that I'm like, fuck, hesitant. I'm hesitant to do because I'm always so worried about, I don't know, not necessarily what other people think, but like,
no, I get
people's perception.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to like fucking pound something into their face, like buy this or be this or do that. You
gotta pound yourself in their face.
That's part of him.
He does. You do have an aggressive approach, but you do it in a certain way where it just works. Like it works. It clearly works. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Like it works. But like I see that works, but sometimes I'm hesitant to do it myself because I'm scared that somebody's gonna look at me now a different way where like, maybe he's just trying to sell me something or something like that, but
so like I look at your page all the time and you always put out good content. And this is what I say to you. Like, if you're scared for the right reason, don't put that post out. You know what I mean? Like if you have to second guess yourself on that post, then don't do it if you don't feel comfortable with it, because then it's not authentic, if that makes sense.
No, it's not necessarily my posts. I'm talking about the, even when you said with like the tagging of people, like I don't want people to get like maybe annoyed by me that I'm tagging them. They're like, "Who's this fucker tagging me?" You know what I mean? Like,
well,
like dude, that's what I'm scared of. You know what I mean?
You have your friends, you have the people that support you. So let's say you tag me, Isaac, your wife, Pitbull, whatever. We're your friends. You should tag us. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, like, you should tag me because I don't want to miss your post. And I don't want to hit your post, say 4 hours later when it's already in the dead zone. Let me help you get your post up. You know what I mean? Like,
all right. So that's the type of shit we're talking about. Like that's the shit that you figure out. Like you said, 4 hours past your post, and now you're hitting the dead zone. Like you gotta explain that a little bit more, for people that are trying to improve their engagement, improve
what I've learned,
like that's the stuff that we're talking about. That you're like, that's the fucking cheat codes that you have. Like,
so
like this is like you playing fucking Grand Theft Auto and fucking putting in a cheat code to get all of your fucking ammo and weapons back up. Like that's the kind of stuff that you have figured out that we're interested in.
So like if you guys look, my posts are usually, for the most part, Mondays and Thursdays. Why? Because that's when I get the most traction. I pay attention to my insights, my views, my likes.
How'd you figure that out? Like you just kept track of it yourself?
Trial and error. Literally. Okay. It doesn't always work that way, but 95% of the time my posts will do better on a Monday and a Thursday. And I don't post usually more than 2 times a week. And then when I post, it's always the same times, between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., because that's my high posting time. I pay attention to all that, And then from what I've learned is you have approximately 2 hours for your post to move up through social media. That's why I tag 20 people, always tag 20 people, and I try to respond to all those comments right away, because that's the stuff that's going to drive your post up. And now they say it's anywhere from 4 to 5 words that counts as a comment, not emojis. 4 to 5 words. Is that really true? We don't really know. But like when I comment on your guys' stuff, I'm going to give you those 4 to 5 words, because why not try to help your post move up? And I know you guys do the same for me.
Yeah, see that's the type of stuff that we're talking about. Like you figured that stuff out.
I became like obsessed with learning how to use social media, because I'm like, I need to know how to do this. You know what I mean? I'm like, because this is a huge tool.
You're breaking the algorithms. Like you're trying to break the algorithms,
And it's not even all just that, but it's like, yeah, of course there's some negatives and there's bullshit with social media, but man, it's such a positive tool. Like I've been able to connect with
100%.
such awesome people out there. You know what I mean? And that's just by paying attention.
I'm gonna just put this out. Like I'm gonna put this out the way it is. Like none of us, the 3 of us, would not be where we're at without social media.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no way.
Right.
There's no way. There's 100%. No way because we, I wouldn't be able to coach the clients that I'm coaching. I wouldn't be able to get in front of, people's faces to display my physique or my hard work for people to be like, oh, I want to be coached by this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, even, with Condemned, there's no way that I would have met anybody if it wasn't for social media, or, we wouldn't have made sales if it wasn't for social media. I don't think me and Isaac would have met if it wasn't for social media. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think we would have stayed in touch from the first bodybuilding show we met each other at,
Social
same
media.
with Isaac, you know what I mean? I think that's the same goes for you. Like you wouldn't be where you're at, like sitting comfortably being like, hey, I have this fucking powerful tool to where like I can quit my day job and I can go into coaching full time because I have this tool, social media, that's going to help me, continue to get better and better. So yeah, social media, like, does it have negative impacts? Sure. But do the positives outweigh the negatives? Yeah. If you know how to fucking, balance it. Yeah. Hell yeah, it can. Like, it's a fucking amazing tool.
And like what's crazy is, and I hate calling people my followers because nobody's a follower. Everybody's their own person, right? But on social media, they're called your followers. It is what it is. I'm your guys' follower. You're my follower. But in all actuality, I like to think of it as a support system, right? These are the people that support me. I support them back. Because everybody's their own person. You're not a follower. But the people that support me and pay attention to what I'm really doing, they deal with my rants and my positivity. But I'm keeping it authentic. Like, you guys know.
You do.
I sit
you do
there.
Have rants. You do have a few rants.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell it how it is. Be like, yo, if you're going to sit there and DM me, but you don't like my picture, why am I going to waste my time talking to you or DM to you on your DM if you can't take 1 second and click the like button? It's not about likes at that point. It's about just, yo, if you don't got time, I don't have time. And I put that out there. Like, I'm honest about it. At the same time, if you're going to tag me to your post, but you don't like my post, I'm not going to like your shit either. You know what I mean? And it's not about likes. To me, it's a respect thing. Respect me. Like, I would respect you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So there's a social media code.
I have to give you credit for that, man, because like a lot of people can't admit that type of stuff, that stuff bothers them, and you admit it, and I think a lot of people just, they look at you like you're fucking crazy, right? But at the same time, like, you're sitting here admitting like, hey, that does bother me, and I'm gonna fucking tell you,
Yeah.
I got to give you respect for that, because a lot of us won't admit it. Like, we're not going to admit that it bothers us,
Shit, I wouldn't. I wouldn't admit that.
And like I said, it's not an easy thing to do, but here you are saying that, and like I said, it's not easy to just go about and say, hey, that fucking bothers me. This means a lot to me, and here you are disrespecting me.
Yeah, and it's like, again, no ego shit, nothing. Like, if you look at my page, I get decent amount of likes for my following. I get decent amount of engagement based on my following. But yeah, you can still be that one person. You're going to tag me and you didn't like my stuff. Just one, it's not about the like to me. It's about the principle of it. Like, hey, acknowledge me if you want me to acknowledge you. It's that simple. My post has been out there for 2 days, right? And I post 2 times a week. It's like, yo, you couldn't see my post, but yet you're tagging me to your shit and you want me to like it? Like, and I'm not being bitter. I'm not being a crybaby. I'm just being honest. I'm not going to support you if you can't support me. It's just that simple. And anybody who knows me knows I'm all about support. Like, I'll comment your stuff. I'll share your stuff, whatever the case may be. I mean, I've used other athletes' codes on different teams for clothing, for certain stuff I wanted, I have no problem doing that whatsoever. None. I'm all about supporting people,
On the subject of support, man, like, Yari, the general, you wouldn't be where you're at, where you are right now, without your support system. And your main support system, man, like, we got to talk about it. It's your wife, man. Your wife, I got to give her credit, because you're not an easy motherfucker to deal with.
And I'm honest about that.
I got to give Jenny credit, man. Like, she deals with a lot. She's a good person, man. Like, and you got the twins, you got your oldest daughter, and I just kind of wanted to touch on that, man, because, doing what you do daily, you're a busy man. You got work, you got Condemned, you got boxing, training, and you got family, and you're like nonstop, So, like, how does she handle that, man? And, like, how do you guys work together with that?
It's really hard, to be honest with you. And we went through some struggles, as you did, before, like, during preps. It's crazy, and she doesn't prep. She's not a bodybuilder, but she supported me, man, the whole way through, like, just with everything that I do, everything, no questions asked. And it's really, really hard. And, like, everybody talks about balance. I'll admit it. I'm the first person to say I haven't found that balance. It's hard. You just do the best you can with the time that you have, so to speak. So, like, when I'm at home, I want to give her and the kids 100%, but when I'm at the gym, I got to give myself 100%, and then it's like, you guys know, when you're at home, you still play on social media. You may get a customer ask you a question. Me, I get customer service hitting me up. I get the higher powers hitting me up. I get ambassadors hitting me up. And that's why I try to set a schedule, like work hours. These are my work hours for Condemned, and sometimes, man, you just got to shut your social media off and give that person that time. So I'm by no means an expert, man. I'm grateful, and I just try to make the time that we have count, So, like, every Saturday, I'll get my cheat meal. Either we'll order something to the house or we'll go out to eat, something along those lines. For birthdays, we always make, like, big deals. We go to dinners. We have, like, with people and all this stuff. So, like, the time that you're going to have, you got to plan it. And then the time that, you just set aside that time the best that you can. It's never going to be perfect. It's a work in progress. Especially, you guys know, if you are a competitive athlete in any type of way, boxing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, it doesn't matter. Your time is going to be consumed in one way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? So I'm just lucky to have that support, man. But I also, like, when she goes to my shows, you know what I mean? She goes to my fight. She's there with me. She knows the people that I train with. She knows the coaches that I work with. So I keep her involved. You know what I mean? So I don't have her, like, out in the blue. She knows everything that I do. She's known the stuff that I take, so I don't hide anything. I think if you guys ask me, that's the key. Don't hide anything. Keep them involved. And anybody that's
transparency,
listening, if that makes any sense, that would be the key. Do not hide anything. Keep them involved. And remember, if you come home from a bad workout, like they've been around you long enough, they're going to understand you had a bad training session. Just tell them instead of just pouting and being in a bad mood, because we've all done it. You know what I mean? Right. You're like, what's wrong? Nothing. Instead of just saying, man, I had a shitty ass arm workout, you know? And if you tell them that, it's going to help because they'll get it. You know, they've been around long enough to know. So just
so communication, right? Like communicating,
but honest communication and not hiding anything. Like, don't hide anything, you know? Like, and let's be honest, you get a lot of guys, it's their business, or girls, whatever, you're hiding, you know, the gear that you're doing, you know, the people that you're training with, or like, I didn't hide any of that stuff. Like, she knew everything that I was doing, you know? Like, I've taken her to Pitt's house before. It was funny, and this is a true story, and he knows. Because on Sundays, I used to go over there all the time to train. And, you know, Marsell, from like your brother's area, my area, it's a far ride.
Yeah.
So it is, whenever you go there to train, and you know Isaac too, you don't just start right away. Pitt bullshits with you. He's going to talk shit to you. He might be finishing his food. The sessions never start right away. So, and she'd be like, what the hell are you guys doing there all day? You know? And,
smoking weed.
Yeah, no, not me. I wouldn't be able to train. But so she's like, what the hell are you guys doing there all day? But long story short is, one time we had a training session set up, and he's like, yo, bring your wife through, you know, and your kid. I was like, all right. So I told her, I'm like, come. And she's like, well, what time are you guys going to start working out? I'm like, well, this time. Sure as shit, we get there. We didn't start working out till X amount of time after the fact, you know. And then we were there for so long, and she's like, after it was done, she's like, okay, I get it. I see why shit takes so long, you know? So,
yeah,
like, this is what like, I kind of took her in a life of, you know what I mean? In a day of.
Right.
So yeah, because I mean, anytime you go train with somebody like you don't train with often, you're gonna catch up a little bit of bullshit, shoot the shit a little bit. Oh, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? Yeah. And then by the time you get to it, you know, you start stretching, and then you're fucking, you know, talking about, you know, what you did 2 days ago, or you know, what you're doing right now or not doing right now. Right. So yeah, it takes.
But my point being is just don't hide anything, you know. And it's so funny because when, you know, the kids, this was what, January and February. When I went out to you guys, was it January or February? February, right?
I don't remember.
When I went out to Arizona?
Yeah, February.
It was January because it was my birthday. January, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, my kids were born in October. They're a few months old. And I told her, I said, man, Isaac hit me up and wanted to see if I'd come out there because, you know, they're going to be recording with Dusty and everything. And this is funny. And I have no shame in saying this. She knew I was a Dusty fanboy, right? And obviously she knows we're friends. She's like, you better get your ass out there so you can get recording with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
she told me, wife, man.
Yeah, she's like, she told me to get out there because she knew I was a Dusty fanboy. Like, she knows the bodybuilders that I like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hide anything from her, you know?
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, can you go on Fuad's website and order me this T-shirt? You know, and she knows who he is, and she'll go and do it for me because, like, I share all that stuff with her. Like, I don't keep it in the dark, you know? Like, that's a lot of guys are so like, this is my bodybuilding. My wife doesn't need to be involved. She doesn't know anything. You know, that works for you.
It's not even just that, man. Like, it's social media in general. Like, and if people watched you and kind of just paid attention to what you do and they know you, like, they know, like, man, like, okay, I can have social media and be friendly with people and communicate with people that you don't know, like. Say, for instance, like you communicate with a lot of women too, right?
Yeah.
Most wives and girlfriends would be fucking jealous, right? So that creates an issue, but you're so open and you share everything with her that it's been so many years you've been doing this consistently that she has no issue with that.
No.
And a lot of man, I know there's so many broken relationships because of social media, and yet here you are. Been doing it for years, you know.
It didn't start that way because she didn't understand what I was doing, and I didn't really understand what I was doing. But it got to a point where I had showed her stuff. Like these girls would message me asking me about stuff, or even now I get some weird messages like, if I smoke or drink, if I take arson, what would happen? And I show her this. I'm like, look what this girl said, and she'll just laugh, you know. So, like, but I shared all this stuff with her, and I wasn't trying to hide anything. Let's be real. Social media, you know, I don't have a private profile. Everybody can see what you're posting, your stories. I don't try to hide shit, you know. And if I get a strange DM, delete, gone, goodbye. Like I don't mess with that stuff. I'm not jeopardizing anything that I have, you know, because I'm not that dude.
So strange DMs, yes, most of them go straight to my, you know, delete.
Yeah,
you know, or they're gone, right?
We all get them.
But if it's extremely strange, like I'm going with it. And I'm letting my wife know, hey, listen, check this out. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what I've done too. Yeah, 100%.
You know, like there's certain ones where like, babe, I can't pass this up. Come on now, this is too good.
you gotta elaborate on these ones, dude. Come on, let everybody know what you're talking about.
Listen, I've had
specific one. Here's this. All right, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick before we move on. You know, I posted a progress picture of me and my, you know, my blue posers, right? Like my blue posing trunks. And, you know, that's one of the few weird ones. Okay. And I get a DM like in my requested messages or whatever. I look into it. And this person was like, hey, do you still have these blue posers? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, those are my fucking check-in pictures posers. Like, this is what I use them with. And it hits me with, hey, how much money would you want to wear them for a week straight, and for me to, you know, for you to send them to me? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, whoa. And I showed that to Michelle. I was like, it's like, hey, I don't care. I'll send it to this person. I was like, $1,000,
right?
You know, and they go to me. Okay, no problem. And then it started elaborating, right? Like it goes, can you leave a little present in there for me? And I go, listen, man, like, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is weird. Nah, this is just really fucking weird. Like, it's a little bit too much. I was having fun here, but this is too much. And, they were like, oh, name the price. Can you, you put a little bit of, something in there for me and send it to me. Mm-hmm. And, it was one of those things where it was like, I go to Michelle's like, should we just ask for like 10 grand or something? Like, well, what should we do here? And I go, hey, listen, dude, this is too much. That's it. Like, it's funny talking to you.
There's those weirdos out there for sure.
But they hit me back with, why would you think I was a dude? I'm a successful woman, and I'm just asking straight up what I want. And I was like, all right. So this has officially gone past my weirdness point.
Yeah, right.
A little bit too much. But with that thing being said, once again, transparency, anytime something like that happens, I tell Michelle, it doesn't happen often. I get more dudes telling me like that they like my legs or my fucking pecs or whatever more often than I have a girl fucking hitting on me on my Instagram.
You guys know when you're bodybuilding.
Like there's definitely like a 5 guy to women ratio.
You're always going to get those weird messages. And it took her like, I get the comments right on the open, and I still get them to this very day from certain girls, oh, you look awesome or whatever. And at first to her, it was like weird, but she understands it's just bodybuilding. It's how it goes because she's been with me to all the shows and she understands. And it's crazy because she's actually met some of these girls and like they talk in DM now or in person or whatever. So she knows it's just love and like support. It's not hitting on somebody. Yeah. And that's just for me keeping everything open and real because there's no reason. Like I'm not trying to ruin anything in my life over social media. Let's be real. It's just not worth it. Like I always try to do the positive out of social media. At the same time, me being authentic, like I let people know what disturbs me. And, you guys said that, like, I'm kind of like on my own shit for that, but I do,
Yeah.
I just, and some people understand and some people don't.
So here's before we get out of here, when we were talking about, obviously you've mastered the social media game here to monetizing it.
No, I haven't.
Well, you're working on it. I mean, you're way ahead than 99.9% of us are or will be. But
real quick, you said this is the key back to what we were talking about with titles and pros and this and that, right? When you say I'm way ahead, that all depends on the individual, right? Because the ones that are comfortable say that don't produce much, don't get much love or support, but they're super comfortable, right? Where here I am, and every day is a hustle. It's a hustle. and I got to do more. I got to do more. I got to produce more. I got to put better content.
Honestly, I think that's just something that's in you. You can't really teach that. So I think that's just something that's in you. You either are a hustler and you're not, or you either want to put in time to get better or you don't.
Yeah.
I think that's a very simple aspect of things. A lot of people like to use excuses of like,
So for me, like,
I don't have this, I don't have that, but they just don't want to work for it. And, but let me blow your mind really quick before we get out of here. Have you ever thought about, like, as part of your thing, why don't you coach people to do better on social media?
Consult.
Be like an influence coach, like monetize that. Why wouldn't you? Like I monetize, coaching people to get in better shape. Same with Isaac. Isaac coaches people, trains people to get in better shape because that's what we're good at, right? Like you're good at this. Why don't you do that? Like, hey, I'm just throwing it out there. I think you should look into.
Yeah, I've never been hit with a question like that, and like I'm thinking about it. It's super interesting for sure. I
take on clients to grow their social medias to teach them how to.
Well, there is those people
teach them how to be a nationally qualified influencer.
So there is people like that actually do that, but the problem is like, I don't want to say it's a problem. It's not a problem, but the average person might look at my profile and be like, they don't get it. Be like, that's not enough. He doesn't have a huge following. Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Now, if they looked at some pro who has 200,000 followers, they'd rather use him for that. Like, you know what I mean? So, like,
but what is he a pro at? He's a pro bodybuilder, right? But look at this, right? But the way you can, advertise that, but without getting too much into that is, hey, I am the leading ambassador athlete for this company by a fucking mile. I mean, we're not talking about 1 car length. We're talking about fucking 20 car lengths. Like, that's how much better my numbers are than everybody else. And I am not a pro. I don't have a natural following from just being a fucking, unbelievable athlete. This is all built. I built this. This is what I created because I worked hard at it. And I've had a few cheat codes that I figured out myself or, took them from somebody else. And I implemented them. So I don't know, just a thought.
No, I like the idea for sure. But, I would really have to think about it. The thing is, man, it's so trendy, right? Because you guys get these DMs. I get them all the time. Boost your media. We can help you boost your media.
But that's buying followers technically.
I don't even know what it is. I delete it right away.
Yeah. That's them asking you to buy followers. But maybe we'll say that for another time.
I totally get it. I think it's a good idea. Out there, do you like? It would be captioned like, "Do you want to learn how to build your following the right way?" Or something like that.
Yeah, something like those. Like I think you would figure it out. You're social media. Do you figure out how to relate to people that want to grow? But anywho, we're gonna wrap it up.
Hey, wait, I got a couple quick questions, man. Like,
yeah, go.
It's from some of the people on the Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
I just wanted to run through them real quick, before we get off.
Totally.
Ivan Martinez wanted to know, what challenges have you faced transitioning into boxing?
Oh my God. This could take a while for answer, but this is no knock on bodybuilding because you're comparing apples to oranges, but by far, boxing is the hardest thing, right? I mean, it's physical. You're not getting hit in bodybuilding. You get in a bodybuilding stage, you don't get what you want. You get off the stage. Nobody actually hurts you physically. You know what I mean? You're hurt mentally. Right. Boxing's a physical game. For me, the hardest part was the conditioning, just the running, like the cardio, getting all that going. And that's always going to be a work in progress. Like with bodybuilding, you can take off the whole off season of doing any cardio. Then you got 16 weeks to do your 30 to 45 minutes fasted cardio and get your ass in shape. With boxing, you let off that cardio, you're done. Like, you can't just get it back in 16 weeks. Like, you got to stay consistent with it. That's why I make sure that I am doing some type of running 5 days a week. So 3 days a week, I have hard runs. 2 of them are sprints. 1 day is a timed mile with other stuff incorporated. And 2 days are just 2 miles, like at a decent pace. But I'm running 5 days a week. So that conditioning cardio was the hardest challenge, especially because in bodybuilding for the last 7-8 years, I never ran. Like, You didn't run. You know, I did the Stairmaster, you did the bike, you did the treadmill, you know. Now that I'm 42, my knees aren't the best shape, and I'm running like I've never ran before. Like, it's crazy because I thought about doing a freaking 5K marathon just to say that I did it, and I'm still over 200 pounds, you know. They're like,
I ran a marathon.
I want to run a 5K marathon.
Yeah,
but that's the
hardest.
I
ran one. I ran a marathon.
I want to do it. But to answer Ivan's question, man, that's the hardest.
I started off with a half marathon and then the full one. But obviously, that was before I started bodybuilding.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So coming from bodybuilding into the boxing, the hardest part was the cardio and the conditioning part, and that's still a work in progress. What else?
That was the hardest transition for sure. Okay.
All right.
Next question, real quick, from Julian Williams. He's seeing that he just got married. He was wondering, how do you juggle family life with like prepping for a show or like now boxing? Like, what did the process look like of finding what worked for you and your family?
So we kind of touched on this earlier, and that's keeping them involved.
Right.
So like I let her know what time I'm training, and I'd be like, oh, today I'm training by myself, or today I have a coach. So I'm going to be probably a little longer today. You know what I mean? And I call her as soon as I'm done training. I'm done training. Hey, I'm on my way home. Not to like, you know, it's not that I'm checking in, but just let her know what I'm doing. Hey, I'm on my way home. Just got done training. I'll be there in 10, 15 minutes. Just keeping them involved, man. Right. Letting them know what's going on and sharing with it and be like, oh, you know, my coach switched the food up this week. This is what I got to eat. Like little things like that. Just keeping them involved. Oh, coach said I look awesome, or coach said I need more cardio. Just making them feel like they're part of your team, not that you need them, so to speak. Like, not that you only
want
need
them
them
to be involved.
You know what I mean? Make them feel like they're
you want them
your team and they're part of your quote unquote journey to what it is that you're trying to do.
100%. That's a good one.
Last question is from the same guy, Julian. And both of you guys could probably touch on this, not just Yari specific, but outside of supplementation and diet, what are the top 3 things you find help most with recovery?
You want me to go first, Marsell?
I don't care. Go for it.
So I'll be the first person to admit it. I struggle with recovery. I struggle like crazy, and like Pitt knew this, and especially with now it's getting better, but with the kids, you know, they weren't sleeping. So I struggle with recovery, but some of the things that I like to do for recovery, I'm lucky enough to have a hot tub. That really helps me personally, okay? Other things I like to do is straight up, it doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, just try to get myself downtime, meaning no phone, no TV, just chill. You know what I mean? To me, that's like mental recovery.
A form of rest, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
And this one may sound crazy to you guys or to some other people, but I love going out to dinner with my friends. Yeah. So for me, it's not physical recovery because I'm slacking in that department.
Mental
like
recovery,
I have one day, which is pretty much a Sunday.
Stress management, for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's all about mental recovery because physically, man, I could take a beating and I'm going to push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I only have one rest day, which is on Sundays, and sometimes I'm still active, like by walking the dogs or whatever. But I need more mental recovery than anything. That's why dinners with the friends super important. You know, like big crowd, just having a good time, and you forget about everything. Yeah. And then you get that other downtime. You just shut everything off and just chill. You know, like there'll be times where I'm in my living room. I'll turn the TV off. I'll turn the phone off, and I'll just watch my kids play, and that's zen. That's all. I'm good, you know?
Yeah. I would also add to that, put as much effort into your recovery as you do into your training and your diet.
Yeah.
That it's a part of the triangle.
Well, diet is key to recovery too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying put the same effort into it as you do into your diet and training, because a lot of people put the effort into the diet and the training, but they don't put into the effort into the recovery, which is where I found myself on more than one occasions. Like I'm putting efforts into making sure I'm training hard, making sure I'm, eating 100% spot on like I'm supposed to, but I'm not actually putting the time into recovery. Why? Because it's an overlooked aspect of what we do. Get sleep. That's number one thing. Get sleep and take rest days. Don't be scared to take rest days. I used to be fucking deathly afraid of taking rest days, but you got to take them. you will be way better off. There's so many benefits from taking rest days. You don't build muscle when you're training. You build it when you're recovering, and it's rebuilding itself. So you got to take those rest days more than once, more than twice a week. If you feel like you need to take a third one, take a third one. Who cares, man? If you feel run down, there's a reason why you're feeling run down, and figure it out why, whether it's you're training too much, not sleeping enough, or not eating right, and tackle it on. And if you don't know which one it is, fucking try each one. Try fixing your diet first. That doesn't work. Try taking more rest days. That doesn't work. Figure out if you're actually sleeping, and if you are sleeping enough time, are you getting quality sleep? So those are a few things that you can implement right off the bat.
Oh, so it's crazy because we're talking back to that question of transitioning. And so, again, this is not a knock on bodybuilding because it's two different worlds, right? In bodybuilding, let's just say, like you just said now, if you feel like shit, it's arm day, skip it. You can make it up with back or chest, right? With boxing, yeah, there's no skipping a day. So, you know what I mean? You can't
see, but that's the thing, though. Like, I'm not saying skip a day, right? But
take the rest day.
Once again, I don't want to go off the deep end here, but
no, I get it. But like what I learned to do, I have days in boxing, like usually it's on Friday, where it's more technical work, right? Where I'm not going heavy on the bag, where I'm just doing footwork, moving my head, stuff like that. Technical work where I'm not banging my body up.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but don't you think that sometimes it would be more beneficial for you to be like, I need a day and just stay at home, chill with the family, go to dinner with your friends, would have done you more benefit than going into the gym and just moving around?
Yeah, well, that's why, like, on Saturdays we do the dinner or whatever, and then Sundays I'm pretty much just at home all day.
Right. I get it. But let's say you have a day like that where you feel run down like shit, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go into the gym and move, do whatever. Obviously I'm not a boxer, so I don't know, but just moving around. But would you be more like beneficial for you that day to just be like, I'm feeling run down today. I am really beat up. Let me just not go in and take that time off. Don't you think that there's sometimes there will be more benefit to that than going in there, definitely moving around?
And this is so weird. We'll maybe have to do another episode another time with get a boxer on here too. But it's so weird because I've done it, Marsell, to the point where, and this can go on forever. I've done it where I've done that, right? Where the next day it's benefited me, where I feel rejuvenated, and I've also done it where the next day now I feel sluggish and slower. So it's hard, but my world is a little different,
Right.
I think the main thing is to
trial and error.
The main thing is to you're not necessarily missing a day. You just slide everything back. Right. You don't miss nothing.
That's what I was saying.
Just slide it back another day or two. Yeah. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
That part is that key to recovery, and there's a little bit of balance there. Right there. It's just fuck it, man. You know what? I'm not going to miss arm day. I'm just going to slide it back to the next day.
Right. Well, you don't ever really miss it. You can combine it or whatever. Right. That's what I meant.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, definitely, guys. It's been awesome. Real quick. Now I'm going to ask you two one question real quick.
Yeah.
One word. I just want to know, because you guys did it, but you guys hit Michael up with like a sentence. Now, I just want one. If you had to pick one word to describe me, what would it be? One word.
Go ahead.
Woo! One word. Fuck.
Aggressive.
Take that.
That's what I would say. One word, aggressive, for sure.
Marsell's some deep shit.
Well, there's two that came to mind. One was ruthless and one was driven. I'm trying to figure out which one would fit better. But I think ruthless.
You think ruthless
would be better because ruthless is like you got drive for something and you would fucking do it at all costs. Like you're a ruthless motherfucker. Like so those are the two that came to mind.
Works for me. I was just curious.
Yeah. Anywho, it was awesome talking to you.
Awesome, man.
We could have kept going off the deep end here. We're going to get this up on Tuesday. So it's going to be on Spotify, Amazon, Music, iTunes, YouTube. Is probably the best one for you guys to view it because you can actually see us. Isaac hit him with the Magic 4.
like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Please.
Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Give us feedback if you want. And yeah, that's going to be it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, good having you on, bro.
It was awesome, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.